Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome back to Clinic Management System Tutorials, and today is our lecture number 5, and today is one of the most important lectures we have throughout the whole Clinic Management System up till we have seen. Okay, so in today's lecture I am going to demonstrate how can you write a universal code for insert, update, delete and to retrieve also. So at most number of things I will try to cover in this particular lecture, and we will be able to learn how can you write one time single code and then you can reuse that code again and again, not in this software, and you can reuse that software again and again in every other software that you will create later on. Okay, so because we are creating this clinic management system as a modular application, so I am going to create another separate module for these CRUD operations also, and I will use that inside my software. So let's start and have a look what we have today. Alright, so in the previous lecture the problem that was coming when I was starting my software, then every time the settings window is opening, not the login window is opening. Okay, so I have to resolve that problem, and I have already resolved it. Look, my login window is now opening by default because in the previous lecture I have saved the settings from the settings window, but the problem was I have done a mistake inside my connection string. That is, I have skipped a semicolon from my connection string. Because of that, my connection string was not saving properly, and my setting window is opening again and again. So look, I have debugged my software, and I've come to know that my connection string file is not correct. So let me show you how. Look, that's the problem. When I was passing this parameter in the previous lecture, look, it is asking me first the name of the file, so I was just passing this one. Okay, but because you are going to pass this file as a whole path, so that's why you have to specify double backslash. Why I have specified double backslash here? Let me go to this particular method's definition, and look, when you are passing the file, this file is going to be concatenated with this. Okay, so I have skipped that. So let me show you what was the problem. Comment, let's say that C:/ or backslash A folder, then backslash B folder, and then backslash C folder, and inside that you are going to concatenating your files. Your file name is cms_connect. So that was the problem. Okay, the problem is this one, because I have skipped the backslash here. That is why the path is not going to be correct, and the settings window is opening again and again. So please correct this one and pass your file with double backslash as just I have passed here, where it was. Press Ctrl Z like this, and here you also have to specify double backslash. I hope it is clear to everyone. Okay, so now let's continue and let's create a new module for our CRUD operations in our clinic management system. So Solution Explorer, right click on your solution and create a new whole module. So new project, and you are going to create a DLL for your clinic management system for CRUD operations. So class library, and right here CRUD, CRUD, and okay. So what will happen, you will create ultimately a class, rename this class with the name CRUD in small, and save it and come inside. So what you are going to do in this class, you are going to create a dynamic insert method or update method or delete method. So have a look at this universal code that I am going to create now. So public static void, or you can use integer, not null, sorry. The name of the function should be insert, update, delete, or you can use any combination what you want it to do. Okay, so or data underscore insert underscore update underscore delete. So you can create like this also. So I'm going to create one universal method for all these operations. Now I'm going to add try catch so that the exception will be handled, and the exception parameter is this ex, and then you have to specify some modules in this project. So first of all, go in this project and come inside the references and add the references of your main class. So look, where is my main class? Here we have my main class DLL already. So click OK. So you have added your main class now. So what will happen? Using CMS, and then come here and provide your main class like this, main class dot show message, so that your message will be displayed with respect to the exception. So ex dot message, and then you have to specify the type of the message, that is error. Okay, so that's what my customized message displayed with the help of this method. Now SQL command. So when you are creating a software, you have to use these commands again and again for every insert, for every update, for every deletion, everything. Okay, so SQL command cmd equals to new SQL command, and here what you have to pass, you have to pass your stored procedure. So the first thing that I will take from the user will be the stored procedure name. Okay, so I can write here procedure. Now what the next thing you need the connection. So can I write here main class comma connection? I have already created my connection inside main class. Okay, in the previous lectures I have already demonstrated that. Now the error is appearing because the command is not available right now inside this library. So you have to press control dot and you have to add sql.data system.data.client. So I have added that. Now cmd.command type is equals to, okay, look, I also wanted to add this system.data in this particular library, so cut it and paste it here. Now it's fine. Okay, so using also should also be there, using system.data. Now it's fine. So cmd.command type equals to command type dot stored procedure, because I'm going to use a stored procedure. Now what will happen? I wanted to use something that can help me to pick up dynamic way of the parameters. Let's say if I'm going to insert in a table that contains 5 columns, and if I'm going to insert in a table that contains 8 columns, so how can I make a dynamic code for that? For that purpose I will use a collection that is known as list. Okay, and I will pick up a list from the user. Let me write here list, and no, not list only, but in fact I will use the list box. List box is a control and list is only a collection. You can use a list as well, but I'm going to use a list box. For that purpose I have to add one more reference here, using system.windows.forms, so that my controls will come here. Look, Windows Forms is not appearing. So why this is not appearing? Because the reference is missing. So right click, add reference, and Windows, and go to your assemblies. Now type here windows.forms. Look, this one, add this library here in this project, and using system.windows.forms. Okay, now that's fine. Now what you can do here, you can pick up a list box. Look, here's my list box. So I will pass a list box lb1. Why this list box I have taken? I will insert all the parameters of my stored procedure inside this list box, no matter how much that parameters are, 10, 20, 30, 40, 80, 5, 10, any number of parameters I will pass in this. And one more list box I wanted to create here for taking the values from my controls of the Windows form. Okay, so that I can assign the particular parameter with the particular value. So that's why I am picking up a list box 2. So lb2. Okay, one list box is for parameter and one list box is for values. Now I have picked up everything. Now how can I specify here? Because list box is a enumerated control, that means you have multiple items in it, and for accessing every item from the control, what you need to do? You need to use the loop. So for that purpose, for iteration of every list box item, I am going to add a for loop, and inside this for loop I am applying here a condition that you have to run this loop until and unless the length of the list box 1. So list box 1 dot items dot count. So this loop will run as many number of times as many items we have inside the list, starting from the 0 and incremented 1 at every iteration. Now what you can do, you can specify that cmd dot parameters dot add with value and specify what, specify every item of your list box. So your list box, the first thing that you wanted to do is the parameter inside here. So what you can write, lb1 dot items, you can write here lb1 dot items and square brackets, and now it is asking you the index. So write here I, because I is the variable that will incremented every time when the loop will be executed again and again. So when the first time the loop will run, the first parameter will be picked up from the list box and it will be stored inside, it will be retrieved from the list box and stored inside the cmd parameter. So because it is you have to pass a string as a parameter, so you have to make it to toString, and then you have to specify the value also. So the value will be from the list box 2. So can I write here lb2 dot items of 0. Okay, so that's an object. I'm not going to convert it into any particular data type because it's an object and I can pass anything here, integer, character, float, boolean, anything. Okay, so that's my parameter. So it should be in a string and it should be in object. So I have passed these two things. Let me show you once again. When you open the bracket, the first thing that is asked for by this method is the parameter name. So the parameter name will be picked up from the list box 1, and at every index you have the new parameter, and then from list box 2 you will get the value of that particular parameter, okay, that I will pass on runtime. So that's the method that I have to do here. Now what you can specify, you have to open the connection. So main class dot connection dot open. Okay, so I have opened the connection, and likewise I have to close the connection also. So what you can do, you can use the close and then copy this close and put it inside the exception also. In case of any error, the connection should be closed. Now what you can do, cmd dot execute non-query, and then semicolon, but you wanted to display the result also. So what you can do is here create a variable integer res equals to 0 by default, and when the query is executed, write here res equals to cmd.execute non-query. Why I have done this? Because this execute non-query is returning an integer, and that integer will represent me that how many number of records are affected or inserted or updated or deleted. So if you have inserted 4 records together, then 4 will be returned. If no record will be inserted, then 0 will be returned. Okay, so what I will check then on runtime, I will check that either the results are inserted or not. I hope it is clear to everyone. So in the end, when you call this method, it will return the result that how many number of records you have inserted. I hope it is clear to everyone. So guys, that's what universal method we have for insert, for update, for delete. That's it. So using this method, now you don't have to write again and again this particular similar code. Now let us go to the roles window and use this also. So first of all, build this project, rebuild, and so that the DLL will be executed and created for this project also. Okay, alright, so when I have built, look, again the reference problem come into the context. So first of all, you have to make the references update again. So because this is a modular app, so you have to do this every time. So let us refresh the references. Let me go to the references. Look, the settings reference is missing here. Okay, so that's what my CMS project is. So delete this setting and add the setting here again. Go to the browse and select your settings and remove this and click OK. So you have to build these settings again because you have opened the project once after a long time since the last lecture. So right click first, build the project. Where is my build? Rebuild it so that the DLL will be executed. Right click and rebuild your project. All these are my separate modules, and why I am creating separate modules, so that I will reuse it in my later projects. And then rebuild, and then it should also be rebuilt. So where is my rebuild? Here we have. Okay, so now these errors I should resolve. So first let me go to the settings window, references, no errors there. Now let me go to the main class, references, no errors there. Let me go to the CRUD operation, references, no error there. And now finally build solution. Okay, so still the problem is there inside my main CMS, so you have to go to the CMS and references and add the settings one that I have removed just now. So add reference and select your setting and OK. Now look, it is added, and now run your project. Let us see is it working or not. It's still saying build failed, so let me verify why. So main class parameter is still missing inside my project. So where is my main class? I don't have the main class parameter here, and where else I should check it? So that's my MDI window. So inside MDI window here I don't have my main class already, so I have to add the main class here as well. So that's my main class. Remove this setting and then click OK. Okay, so here we have the main class, but where is the setting? Okay, because it is removing when I am unchecking the reference. So that's what the problem, every time it is appearing. Let me select setting once again. I don't want to uncheck that. So setting, and now click OK. So setting is there, main class is there. Now hopefully it will build successful. Okay, look, 0 errors, but ignore the warnings, no problem about the warnings. Now build is successful. Let me show you now these project, how can I call that projects inside my roles window. So where is my roles window? Open that. Here we have, okay, again the same problem. Ignore this and go to its code, because we are doing inheritance. Come inside this roles window and we have the save button. Okay, on this save button, what you have to do, you have to specify the validation first. So the validation should be if main class dot check controls, and then it is asking me the panel. So the controls are in my left panel, and dot count, because it will return a list greater than 0. So what you can write, main class dot show message, and specify the message fields with red are mandatory, because the colors of the text box will change to red if you left it blank. So mandatory, and then the message type is error, and then semicolon. After that you have to write the safe code. Okay, so we can write the safe code here. Now where is my safe code? My safe code inside my CRUD library. So I don't my CRUD library is not appearing here. So what I can do, using system dot, okay, because I have to add the reference also first. So let me come inside CMS and right click on the reference and add one more reference for the CRUD operation. So browse and go to the CMS and go to CRUD bin debug and select your DLL CRUD one and click add. Okay, and then click OK. So my CRUD library is now added. So using CRUD, that's it. And now when you come inside, look, CRUD dot insert update delete, that method is appearing here. And what you can do, specify here, it is asking you the procedure name. So do we created the insert role procedure? Yes, we have created. Let me show you the database inside CMS, programmability and stored procedures. So look guys, I have the procedure insert roles. Let me show you again one more time so that you can recall that procedure. Okay, so that's my procedure, and inside this procedure I am just inserting one value. So I have copied that and in double quotes paste that, because that's my procedure name. Now I need the list box. So list box, right here, list box lb1 is equals to new list box, and inside this list box what you are going to add, list box 1 dot items dot add, and what you wanted to add in this item, the parameter. So what is the parameter? @ name. Copy it and paste it, and then semicolon. So you have added your parameter inside your list box. and now you have to pass the value inside another list box. For that purpose I'm going to add another list box here and give it a name listbox2, and instead of this what you are going to pass here, role text. Simple. So role text dot text. That's it, the work has been done. And now you only have to pass your first list box, that is the parameter list box lb1, and then you have to pass your second list box, that is lb2. That's it, the work has been done. In only one line or two lines you have done your insert operation successfully. So you don't have to recall SQL connection, SQL command, and you don't have to recall that libraries again and again. In fact, you just call your first this one module, and you can use this single method for insert, for update, for delete, for all the three operations. For retrieval I will show you another method, because retrieval is something different from the all three: insert, update and delete. Okay, so let us check now is it working or not. But before checking I have to go to my login window, so that from login window I can go to my home screen. So let's go to the login window first. Where is my login? Here is my login window, and that window is appearing blank. Let me rebuild it. Clean CMS, rebuild CMS. Alright, so my software is opened successfully. If you still are having a problem in loading the designer, just go to your particular software in the designer file and change from private to protected. Okay, then your designer will work fine. Now let's go to the login window first. Quickly login, and now here first of all design the login window. So label, and then specify your text boxes for the login. So text box. Okay, so that's my text box. Copy these two and paste it for password. And what you need the button for this. So let me pick up a button for login. Okay, so that's my button. Now just design it a little bit. Okay, so give it a name login. I'm not going to implement right now login, but I'm just gonna demonstrate that CRUD operation, and then we will do it later on, the login scene. So that's my login, and that should be my username, text username, and it should be my password. So password, and it should become in this length. Now that's my password, so it should not be more than 30, and that's my username. It should not be more than 30 or 50, whatever you wish to write here. And then that's my password character, so use system password character. That's fine. Now select your window and go to its accept button property, so that you can make your accept button. Okay, first of all give this button name as a login button. So login button. What I wanted to do, when I hit the enter key when I run my software, that this login button should automatically be pressed. So for that purpose select your form and go to its accept button property and click here and select login button. So what will happen when you hit enter, this login button will be pressed. You not have to go and click it again and again. So on this login window you don't have to write anything up till for the purpose for now. Later on we'll do the code for this window also. Okay, now double click here and come inside and open a window that is home screen. Do we have created home screen? No, we haven't created the home screen also. So let me add another window inside my software that is known as home screen, where all the windows should be displayed on with respect to their buttons. So home screen. Okay, home screen 1, and then click add and right click, view code, and inherit the window that is sample, and then come here and home screen 1. Look, that's fine. Now what you can do, you can go to the toolbox and pick up a table layout panel, containers, table layout panel. Why I have picked up this table layout panel, I will show you in a while. Just first doc fill it. Look, 4 compartments are created in this window. Now add column, and add column. I have added 5 columns, sorry, and now 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, so I have added the number of rows and columns. Now what I can do, I can come here inside and give here the equal percentage, now rows, and then That's the thing that I have done. So I have created equal compartments. Okay, you can remove the last column and the last row for increasing the size of the software tile. So now it's fine. Now what you can do, you can come in and pick up a button and place it here, and for this you have to come in and write here, let's say roles, and make it flat, and the border size should be 2, and make it dock fill, and the button name should be role button, and come inside this dock and dock fill. So that's my one role button. Okay, so copy it, paste it. So you have created all the buttons for all this window. Okay, so that's my roles button, and then we have the users window, so users, and so on. I will create different buttons for my software. Now what you can do, go to your roles button, double click it, and now open the window. So main class dot show window, show message, not show message, show window, and you have to give here the opening window that you wanted to open. So roles window RW equals to new roles window, and then you have to specify this RW here, and then you have to close this, and then you have to open the new window in that MDI. So MDI.ActiveForm. So that's what the window opening function we have. Now that's my home screen, and save it, and let's start the project and see what will happen. Okay, it's saying that there is an error. Where is the error? Okay, I have missed something. Okay, from login button I have to write here home screen 1 HM equal to new home screen 1, and then main class dot show window, and then write here HM comma this, because you wanted to close this window, then MDI dot active form. Okay, so now it's fine. Okay, so let's start. So my login screen is appearing. When I hit enter key, the data it should go inside that home screen. So let me check why it is not going. Okay, it's now my home screen is opened. I have to go inside my roles window. Look, my role window is appearing here. Okay, now it's disabled. When I click add button, it should be opened. No, it is not opened. Why? Let me check. Alright, so the problem is that the panel name is left underscore panel, and I have provided the left panel. That's why it was not opened. So what you can do, you can go to your sample2 window, and here instead of left panel you have to specify left underscore panel. Now that's fine, and now let's your program run. Okay, login, roles, add. Look, it is enabled. Okay, so left underscore panel is enabled. When you click the save button, look, it's saying that there is a problem at 0 index. Okay, we'll see the validation function. Let us see the is it adding or not. So let me add an admin. Okay, and then specify here save. Okay, still the problem is appearing here. Let us validate it. What's the problem? Okay guys, so the problem I have detected is again the left panel. So left panel and left underscore panel should be the original panel, and then we'll have to come inside that's my sample window where I have changed this left underscore panel, and I think the mistake is here as well. So let's go to the code and let's have a look. Look, we have the left panel. So it is not left panel, it is left underscore panel where my controls are. So I want to check inside this left underscore panel. Now let's start and check, is it working or not. So login, roles, and then click add, and then click save. Look, it is working. Everything is fine. That was some common mistake. So field with red are mandatory. So when you type here, let's say, okay, so one thing you have to do is you have to apply the text change event so that the color of the field should again come to white. So let us go and change it. So where is my role window, and double click your role text and write here if role text dot text is equals to blank, then role text dot back color is equals to color dot firebrick. If that red was the firebrick, name of the color is firebrick, And now if role color, role text dot back color should be white, color dot white, so color dot white. Okay, so what will happen when you left the text box blank? The color will be red, otherwise it will become white. Okay, that's what the validation I have applied. Now let's start. So login, roles, save, and fields with static are mandatory. And now when you press add, look, on add it is resetting and enabling, and when you are entering anything and when you are removing anything, the color is just going to red. Okay, so let me add here administrator, admin or admin, right? The first role, click save. It is still saying that you have the problem. Let me check why. The problem that persists is still the left underscore panel, and where I should check it. So let us debug the problem. What's the problem we have? So that's my list box. Start. Login, roles, add, and right here admin, the first role, and click save, and you come inside. That's my list box. You have given the name, and then the list box 2 you have provided your admin, and then you have visited your software module, insert roles. Okay, and then command type dot procedures, and then items dot count. You have only, how many counts you have? You have 2 counts. Why? Let us check. Let us check why it is showing me 2 counts. Okay, that's the problem. I have added 2 values inside one. Okay, so that's the problem. It should be 1 because I have only passed 1 value. So the problem is in list box 2 I have added the item in list box 1. That was my mistake. Okay, so you have to be very careful in all these work, guys. That's my list box 1. Now recheck it that it's list box 2. Now let's start. It will work inshallah now. So login, roles, add, and right here admin, and then save. Let us see what will happen. Is it working or not? Okay guys, so one thing that I have still skipped. Before saving that, let me first go to the settings window again, and we'll have to first create the connection. Okay, so to open the settings window inside the software, let us go to the MDI window and come inside the menu and double click your settings window and copy this code and paste it here. When you click the settings button, the setting window should open. Okay, and it should be open directly. So let's start and go to the settings window, because in the previous lecture I have created the settings, any invalid data I have entered here. So the problem was this documents. Look, the CMS underscore connect file is created, so you have to open it, and let me show you why the insert was not going to happen. Look, the data source is incorrect, the database is incorrect, everything is incorrect here. That's why the results are not good. Now let us create the data source again. So 10.0.1.118, that's my data source. Now database name is CMS, and then user ID is SA, and then password is this, and then click save. Okay, now setting saved, and let us log in and now check is it working or not. So admin, and then click save. So you come inside the breakpoint, and then you are debugging your software. Okay, so it is again, it is checking is it working or not. Let us verify the connection as well. So documents, RMS connect, sorry, CMS connect, notepad, and then click OK. So look, still the data is not updated. That's what's the problem. You have to check your connection that it should be updated when you click the save button. Okay, so the result is not updated. It is still the previous result. So you have to update your result. Let us go to the settings window and double click here. So when you are saving the file, this should be the place where you should have to debug the code. Now start, and let's see what's the problem. Let's go to the settings window, and data source 10.1.1.118, database name is CMS, and user ID is this, and password is this, and then click save. So you come inside, and now press F11. So to debug, the file name is there, the status is there, the data source is there, the DB is there, everything is fine. But the problem, that is the username, it's there. Okay, username is coming. So let us verify. Okay, the path is the problem still. So where was that? Where was I? Here. Where's the path? Let me check the path once again. The file name is rerun the software. The condition is not running. So settings 10.0.1.118, database name is CMS, user ID is SA, and password is this. And now come inside once again. Look, so what's the path? The path is CMS_connect, and if the file does not exist, this means that. Okay, so if the file does not exist, then do this. Otherwise you have to specify something else. So my file is existing, so this code will not work. So what you can do, you can update the file. Yes, that's the problem, because the file already exists, so it will not update. So let us go to the setting window again, click the save button, and when the file is not exists, where I was, create file, and go to its definition here. If the file does not exist, then do this code. But if the file exists, then what you can do, you can simply update the path. Simple, copy this code, copy it and paste it. Simple. Okay, so if the file is existing already, then you have to do this whole code. Yes, copy it and paste it. Now it's fine. If the file exists or the file does not exist, okay, you have to do this one. Simple. Now save it and now run it. Okay, settings. Now give your connection string 10.0.1.118, database name is CMS, SA, and password, and then click save. Now it is saved. Login, roles, add, admin, save, step out. Is the data inserted or not? And we'll have to verify the connection string in the documents as well. So go to the connection string, CMS, notepad, open. So look, it's still not updated. So there is the problem in the connection string. That's why we are not continuing further. So let us verify still what's the problem. Start. First go to the settings window, and then you have to specify your connection string once more. And then database CMS, user ID, password, click save. It is saving. Okay, so let me put a breakpoint at this point. Okay, so let's go to the settings window, and 10.0.1.118 CMS, and this. Click save, come inside, and what is happening? Okay, so this is the code. Controls are checked. Now we are going to the create file. Okay, yes, now we are going to the create file. Now file does not, yes, file exists. So inside this, I don't understand what's going on. Right click, go to definition, and file.write all text. It should work. Let me apply the breakpoint here and remove the breakpoint from everywhere that you have created. Where was the breakpoints? Close everything. Okay, remove the breakpoint from here as well, and let's run it again. So settings, 10.0.1.118, and then CMS, and then this one. So click save. The why it is we are not going inside the breakpoint. You should go to the breakpoint. Settings window, double click right here. Now breakpoint. Let's go to the settings window and 10.0.0.118. No, what's the IP address? Let me verify. 10.0.1.118 CMS, password. We've come inside. Now what's the problem? We are directly moving towards else. Now check controls, and then come out from this check controls, and now it is going towards the create file. Yes, and then we come inside, and then the file is cms_connect. The file exists already, so we'll navigate towards else. So what is this? Okay, the problem was there on else. On settings, it is not showing me this code should work, but this code is not working. So why is it happening? That's the if, and this is the else. Okay, what I can do, I am removing this one. The problem will be resolved, because this method, file exists or file does not exist, it will recreate the file if the file exists. Okay, I am removing that code. Now hopefully the problem will be solved. So settings, 10.0.1.118, database is this, and user ID is this, and password is this, and then click save. So we have come inside now, and now check controls, step out, and then we have come in. Yes, and then it's still saying. Okay, one thing that I must tell you, one thing, that is we are using that module, and when you change your module, you have changed your module, but you haven't updated your module inside the software. Maybe that is the problem. You have changed the module from the backend, but you haven't rebuilt that module, and you haven't added that module. That's why the problem is appearing. So what you have to do, you have to close it simply, and you have to go inside your settings module and right click and rebuild it. So what will happen? The rebuild will be succeeded. Now let's start once again and verify will it work or not. So settings and 10.0.1.118, and then database, CMS, and then SA, and then password, and then click save. You come inside. Now step out, settings, look, now it is working. Okay, write all text and then show message and all that. Now it's working. So that was the problem, guys, because I am not in practice with all these modules, so I forget every time to update the modules. That was the problem. Sorry for the waste of the time, but we have done successfully this thing. Now let's go to the login window and let's start first. Okay, because I was in debugging mode, let me close the software and run it again. So login, roles, add, and then give here the role name, let's say admin, and then click save. It should be updated. Okay, first of all verify the documents, CMS Connect, and then open, click OK. Look, the data is now updated. Now it's fine. Okay, so the connection string is now correct. And now let's verify the database. Tables, roles, and edit. Alright guys, so you can see here that my role is added successfully, but the message box was not displayed. Okay, sorry, so we'll debug that why the message box is not displayed. But today I must tell you that the main focus of the particular lecture is to create a universal function for insert, update, and delete. So we have created that universal function, and now let us see why the message box was not displayed. So let us go to the roles window and close every window, home screen and all that, settings. Come on your roles window and go to the save button here. Okay, and let's start and see why that message was not displayed. So let me add another role, because we are in clinic management system, so you have to add another role, let's say compounder. Okay, so that's what another role. Save, F11. Okay, so role. Now yes, the message is not displayed because I have just returned and then there is no message. That was the problem. So if I write here integer res is equals to, what is the result? Anything. If res is greater than 0, that means your data is inserted successfully. So main class dot show message, and right here what is the name of the role? So the role text, what you can write here, role text dot text added successfully. So added successfully. Okay, so the message will be displayed, and then the message type is success. Okay, so that's it. Now when you press F11, okay, click save, execute. Okay, look, the data is inserted because I have made the role name unique. That's why it is not adding the same role again and again. So that's we have also already checked. Now let's execute it here. So look, we have the compounder also. Now the message box will be displayed every time because I have added the message. Now what you wanted to do, you wanted to load the results inside this grid view, and you wanted to do the further operations as well. But for today it's enough. Hope you have enjoyed this tutorial. Please watch it and listen it carefully so that you can understand what I have done. Okay, thank you so much. Take care. Allah Hafiz.